Check this out.
Finally,
Screen radio
has come back. Home.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Oh, yeah. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Another episode of MSR. I'm your boy, Adam Butler. Paul Spann is out today. Narcus is out today. But Clarence is in the building. What's happening,
The
sir?
dream team, half of us are here.
Half, is it half? I don't know math like that. What's half of five?
I feel like we need like a Jay-Z lyric
We
to,
need
to complete that.
Right, exactly.
Half of five, or
What's
Jeezy lyric. Right?
Yeah, geez, what's half of five? Right, yeah, all y'all that count bricks. Can you tell me what's half of five? CB Christopher Hayes is in the building. What's happening, Chris?
What's up? Doing really good. Doing great.
Doing really good, really great. How you been, man? Were you here last week? You weren't here last week.
I was not able to be here last week.
We got some we got some business to deal with, you and I, that we
Yes.
have to do on air.
Yep, we do.
So as you know, we've been high on the Black Panther thing. 2.5, my man Pete just said, by the way. That's half of five. We knew that, all right, but we there's no half person here. Thank you, Paul. Anyway, so we've been high on the Black Panther thing.
Does Paul's chair count as half?
The man ain't
wait,
here
you don't have
to defend himself. I don't all have it. Yeah, I'll insert that later. That's funny though. So let's get to this business. We've been big on the Black Panther thing. Shout out last week's episode. Shout out to Marcus K. Dowling. We had a great conversation about Black Panther, the film, what we thought about it. We broke down certain characters, what have you. I got another announcement in regards to that coming up real soon. But before we get to that, everybody knows, if you listen to the show, we had two things going on surrounding Black Panther for probably close to, not a year, not that long, but 6 months. We pretty much had this bet going. Maybe not 6 months with the bet, but our health challenge for about 6 months, maybe even longer. And our bet has been going on for a while. So we'll get to the health challenge. We'll update you guys on the health challenge on another day, because there are updates with that. But the bet has been resolved. There is a winner, an announced winner for the bet. Now, to fill you in on what the bet was, myself and Sleepy Christopher Hayes here, we made a bet about how much money Black Panther would make. I said that Black Panther would be the highest grossing solo Marvel film ever. You said it would not surpass Iron Man 3, right? Yep. Iron Man 3 made $175 million. Black Panther made about 218 on his opening weekend, correct?
It made 201. It's President's Day weekend.
Okay, so not counting the fourth day, it made $201 in the 3-day weekend,
yes,
right?
Which is incredible.
Which is incredible, which means I win, right?
Yes, you do.
So the bet was that the winner of the bet had to treat the other person to food, right? We had to buy,
Yes.
we had to go out and get that other person something to eat. So since I am a winner, and I saw you the other day, full disclosure, I saw Chris at Union Station. We had a conversation about it. I said, I'm going to let you know what I want you to go purchase me, or where I want you to take me, right? In order to eat, right? So I have made a decision. There's a spot called New Vegan on Georgia Avenue. New spot, black owned, shouts to New Vegan, wonderful spot. You and I, Chris, and the team, you don't got to buy the team food. The team, we're going to go to New Vegan. Look at his face. Look at his face right now. Look how disappointed he looks. Look how upset he looks because I suggested going to a vegan spot. Because I've suggested eating vegetables and plant-based food.
The string
Look
on
at
his
face
sweatshirt
right
is
now.
curling
He
up.
is
So
upset.
angry.
He's steaming. He literally looks like Killmonger right now. Not really, but he reminds me of the attitude that Killmonger has right now. You don't look like Killmonger though. Actually, you know who you look like. You look like Forrest Whitaker. The Black Panther.
Was
You
it
look
Surrey?
You like Surrey? No, that's the girl.
Oh, shit.
You look like
Uncle James.
Uncle
That was
James.
American Navy.
You like Uncle James right now, but you were blown. You're pissed off because I suggested a vegan spot, but that's what happens when you bet with the man over here. Don't make a bet with me. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna go somewhere you want to go. We're not gonna
just
go
gonna
eat
allow him to
no
do that?
no fried chicken and burgers and sweet tea. We're gonna go to a vegan spot. We're gonna go support a black business. We're going to New Vegan. We're gonna look at his face. Look how upset he is right now.
he's
Seriously,
thinking. He's
we're going
computing.
like he's trying to get out of it. We're going to New Vegan. We're going to New Vegan.
Slap back.
Okay, we're gonna eat healthy. When we finish eating, we're not gonna feel all full and crazy like we want to go to sleep. We're gonna feel energized and great. And this is gonna go directly into our Black Panther Health Challenge. And you should thank me. So I thank you for making the bet. How do you feel? Are you willing to go to New Vegan, my good sir?
I will be at New Vegan under duress, but I will go there.
Under duress? You're going to be under duress because we're going to a vegan spot. Are you so you're gonna honor your bet though,
Yeah,
right?
I'm gonna honor it. I'm gonna go there.
Are you
I'm
gonna
eat
eat
there? I'm
There
gonna
you go.
try it out. You know what? I'm gonna keep an open mind
Uh-huh.
about this place.
Uh-huh.
I definitely don't have a problem supporting the black business.
Yeah.
Love doing that. So yeah, so I look forward to this.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah,
look forward to the whole team being with us and
Uh-huh.
experiencing that. This is one of the things we love doing after once we're done with the show. So I look forward to this.
I'm definitely gonna be out front eating French fries. Chris can see me while he's eating his vegan
Yeah,
food.
yeah.
And I'm going to be live streaming.
You should bring in some Popeyes and then like eat it literally in front of him. Like had the aroma of the chicken. And I'm gonna tell you what, man. I'm gonna tell you what. The aroma of Popeyes is something in that. Like you ever roll by Popeyes before?
Yeah.
Like, God damn, I can smell it. And then like, yeah, you just all find yourself in line. That shit's crazy. Anyway,
That's great marketing.
it is. It's great marketing. Whatever is in the smell, whatever they cook that shit in. Yeah, whatever it is, crack it, sprinkle some crack on it. So yeah, man, that's what we're gonna do. New Vegan, black spot. I'm the winner. We're both gonna eat, and it's gonna be on Chris. Sound good?
Yes.
All right. Shouts to everybody that again, shouts to everybody that's been supportive through this Black Panther process. We'll have updates on our health challenge as well. I think we did pretty good on that one. We'll make some updates on that one, let you guys know what's going on. Also, one quick announcement too, and I will have he called that man Carl Winslow. We'll have a shouts to I'm Facebook Live right now. Shouts to that. We're gonna have a Black Panther discussion forum here at the studio. We'll have information like in terms of times and address and all that for you guys, but it's going to be this coming Saturday. This coming Saturday, we're going to sit around, we're going to have drinks, we're going to eat, we're going to have a good time, we're going to talk about all things Black Panther because why not, right? Why not? So what I want you guys to do, if you can for me, send me your questions because we're gonna there's certain topics that I know we want to hit on, right? That there's certain things that stand out in this film, and if you feel like it's something that stands out that you want to hear us talk about, or you want to talk about at this event, please hit us up on our social at MSR Tribe, Mainstream Radio on Facebook. Hit us up, or you can hit one of us up personally, DM us or whatever. I know Clarence likes to DM, so you can DM them, man. Sorry, that was hot. That was terrible. I shouldn't have done it. No, but seriously, let us know what you want to get into. All right. Bang. So we got a wonderful show for you guys today, man. A good friend of ours is in the building. This is the homie from way back. She punched me in the face one day in the student lounge.
Wow.
Yeah, she punched me in the face one day. I don't know. And
Probably deserved it.
Yeah. No, it wasn't that. It was just like, she just walked up to me and was like, you look like a sucker, and she punched me in the face. That's type of woman we dealing with here. Saying, no, so bad. No, this is a you know what I'm saying? It's a violent woman. No, our good friend Lavondra Shinholster is in the building. Give it up for Lavondra, y'all.
Yes.
Give it up for Lavondra. Typical black queen on
That was just so like far and beyond. Like I swear to God, like my thing is like I'm thinking back like that probably did happen.
Yeah, man, that's the funny thing. You're not even sure if
I'm
it
not
actually
sure.
happened or not. Like you may have actually punched me in the face.
I wasn't a violent person, but I was very hands-on and physical with people, but not in like a violent manner, but just to let them know, like, hey, I'm here.
Yeah.
what's that?
That's how we met each other. You walked
Yeah.
up on me and
Like
you
a
punched me in the
notification.
face, and I said, "Damn, I like this girl. She's all right with me." You know what I mean? Lavondra's in the building. She's a hair enthusiast,
Yes,
natural hair enthusiast,
enthusiast.
natural hair enthusiast, YouTuber. I'm very proud of this young woman. And again, I'm joking. She didn't really punch me in the face, but we have known her for over 10 years. And I remember when you first started doing the YouTube thing, and I remember when you would be like, "Yo, I got 10 followers. I got 10 subscriptions. I got 20 subscriptions. I got 100. I got this one. And I'm like, wow, I'm watching this woman grow and do her thing. And I want to jump right into it. We're going to get into all your content and everything. But that YouTube market is a tough racket. It's a tough one to get into. Everyone wants to be a YouTuber. I ain't gonna front. I even struggle with my own personal YouTube. It's hard. It's hard to get people to pay attention to what we're doing and show interest because it's just so much going on. How did you? What made you decide to even get into the YouTube market? And how did you? I
was actually like bullied into it. I had a good friend. Still she's my good friend. Kyla, and she kept telling me, you do an amazing job on your hair, create a YouTube, and I'm like, for what? Why? Nobody's gonna watch me. And like she just kept pestering me about it, so I finally did it to prove her wrong, and I actually proved her right. So that's how that story came about of my YouTube and my blog. But YouTube is just it's a great platform to reach people that you will never reach on Instagram, people that you will never reach on Facebook, because there are a lot of people on YouTube who don't have Instagram or Facebook like that. It's its actual social media in itself, but people don't realize that. So it's a great place to grow. Yeah,
definitely. And I mean, you have grown your brand. You know what I'm saying? You've been doing great things and all of that. But the hair thing, and we had a beauty blogger on here before, and she was talking about how it's probably one of the more lucrative avenues on YouTube. Do you find that to be true, that when you stepped into the beauty and hair space, that is more lucrative?
It's so different, because when you step in, as me going into it, I stepped into it not knowing that you can actually make money, as much money as that I'm actually making right now, and it's small, short chump change, but it's still revenue coming in. Beauty for one thing is definitely a lucrative, that and the slime, going after like the kids, the slime and Thomas the Train, unboxing toys, that's very lucrative in beauty. Like it's two different ends of the spectrum, but you can make a lot of money out of all of them. So with me going into it, I didn't know that you could make a X amount of money. You could basically quit your job if you make enough videos a week and have the amount of views coming in to have that revenue. So I'm like, yeah, why not? Like, keep doing it. I'm very lax with it though. I'm very lazy because it's something that I do as a hobby. I don't want it to turn into a job. So I do it as often as I feel is necessary. So I'm not making the money that I could be making at this point, but I'm making,
Doing all right.
I could buy a couple of drinks.
You can buy a couple of drinks.
Yeah.
Again, we'll get back into the YouTube space and the partnership.
Treats that went to McDonald's.
I don't eat McDonald's, Sleepy Chris. I eat vegan food.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
Who is this person?
Yeah. Okay. Anyhow, the YouTube space I want to revisit in a moment in that partnership space, because I've seen you doing some things as well. But when it comes to being a natural hair enthusiast and forget the entertainment aspect of it, and we'll get to that later, but just why it's important to you, the natural hair thing, and just that coming off Black Panther, that was one thing people were talking about on Black Panther. Like, none of them girls in there had perms, and they even had that whole scene with the wig and everything. And I don't know if you've seen the movie yet. All right, cool. I'm about to send this spoiling shit. But the scene with the wig and all that, and Lupita's like, you could just whip it back and forth. I thought that was hilarious, and even made commentary about it. But obviously, for black women, and I think black men, our natural self is we're starting to embrace that. Just talk to me about that process for you, being able to embrace.
Well, actually, I think the princess's name was Suri, right?
Yes.
Oh, she actually does have processed hair. She just had braids in. So it's it's so much going on with the natural hair community. Just like with anything else in the black community, people have to break it down, piece it together, nitpick. So with naturalness, some people assume like you're not natural if you have color in your hair, like if you, or if you have weave. Yeah. And either way, I don't have chemicals on my actual hair. I'm natural. Yeah. Plain blank period. Whether I had weave, braids, whatever. Point blank period. But I feel like that this whole natural movement for me is something big. I started my natural hair journey basically being forced into it. A lot of this stuff I got forced into.
Well, how did you get forced into it?
My whole body changed up on me, and I ended up being allergic to perms. So I broke out into hives wherever the perm touched on my skin. So I had to cut my hair. And I was forced into that natural hair lifestyle, which it is a lifestyle. And with doing that, I ended up just creating styles for myself, easy, lazy, natural styles that were beautiful. They weren't just like a regular, like this high puff. They were actual styles. And so when I started seeing the attention that I was getting from it, the positive attention from it, and then it's like getting a new car, a car that you like, and all of a sudden you start seeing that car everywhere.
Right.
I started seeing naturals everywhere, like, ooh, look at her hair, look at her hair. Like, and and you can see it in some women's faces that they weren't comfortable. And how can we as women of color be so strong but we're uncomfortable in our own skin and with our own hair? And I wanted to change that perspective. So my whole thing with my natural hair enthusiasm or my movement is to celebrate women and have them build that confidence up as their hair grows out. Because everyone hits that awkward stage. Even with like locks, you hit that awkward, stumpy stage.
The ush bush.
So it's like, but you can work around, can work around that. So, and I'm trying to give women and younger girls that, get them to see that there's other options that you can do with your hair, and you can feel more confident with doing it. So.
Right. And we will open it up to everybody. We've had this conversation a few times on the show, the natural hair thing, and I've been schooled thoroughly on it. Like, because again, I'm just a guy. I go to the barber shop when I can. I mean, obviously, I haven't been to the barber shop in a few.
Obviously.
Yeah, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? Why you gotta do me like that? You know what I'm saying? But I go to the barber shop and I just get my hair cut. Like, my hair is not, for me, not a big part of my personal. It's not a big part of my personality, right? But I do equate it to like fashion and things like that for myself personally. But also, when we've had this discussion before, I remember like a question of like elitism would come up, right? Where also like we joking about the vegan thing, right? Like where like some vegans can literally be like hard to be around because it's like I do this thing and I'm bettering myself, and if you don't do that, you're a terrible person. Do you find
Bible
that
thumpers. Here we go. Bible thumpers, just like religion too.
Yeah,
it's hard to be around certain people because
exactly. Do you find that in the natural hair space?
Oh,
man?
yes,
Talk to us.
What's crazy about any type of community that we have as Black people, we know how to destroy something. We know how to run it in the dirt. And the thing that I found a lot with the natural community is that you have people who are held to a higher standard because of the texture of their hair, the way their hair falls over their shoulders, the length of their hair, and it's just like, why should it be that? It's natural hair.
Right.
So there should be no separation. We are all together. Just like, colorism. There's separation between that. But we are all still Black. Still nigga. Like, so, still nappy. Like, everything is, it's the complete same. Even though it looks different, we're still the same. So, I personally haven't felt it, but I've seen people experience it, and it's, for me, looking on the outside, it's not a good feeling at all. It's like something that I was born with, and something that you were born with, and you're telling me this is the right way to go. You degrade me for it because of the way it looks, or the way it feels, or the way certain products react to it and have it form up. And I think that's just like BS, honestly. So.
Yeah, I mean, naturally, to be elitist with anything, Clarence, is like is BS. You know what I mean? But as men, I know I've seen it, and again, it's not to demonize the natural hair community. It's literally what we're not trying to do. But it is interesting how, like, sometimes if someone is just trying to learn something or whatever, or they may be a little intimidated by certain things because there's like this idea, if you're not hip, then you'll never be you'll never be hip. You know what I'm saying? And I find that as an odd thing as a male, Clarence. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you. I'm not joning on you right now, but your hair, I think, is important to you, right? Am I wrong for assuming that, or
No, you're not wrong.
So, like, for you, do you think that there's space? Like, do you think there's space for men in that? Like, would you consider yourself part of like the natural hair community?
No, I don't consider myself a part of it. But I do take a lot from that community, right? Learning wise. So, there's a lot of women that have taught me about like my hair and how to, do certain things with it. And you know, from women in the shops to you know, women that I happen to know. I mean, you can go on YouTube and find anything if you're trying to look for something, right? So if you couldn't get something that you wanted to do, but I think beauty and standard to a degree is a issue across all cultures and communities. But I think for Black people specifically, because we've been pigeonholed into thinking this is how you have to look to succeed and to be safe. Right, or to be intelligent, you have to look a certain type of way. I mean, there's colleges and programs where it said you can't have locks or braids with men or whatever, or even women, right? So, in attempts to try and protect Black people and put them into a certain space. But I don't think I'm a part of the natural hair community, but definitely I tend to appreciate what the community does do and what they're trying to do, right? So I love y'all.
Okay. Well, Lavondra, let me ask you one more question before we open it back up.
Okay.
Do you think men can be part of the natural hair community?
Oh, totally. I think, first of all, I think once they hit one of that inch of growth where they start to let their hair out, they definitely can cross over into the natural hair community. A lot of men just think that, oh, me washing my hair and throwing some Blue Magic grease on it is no. First of all, Blue Magic grease is actually trash.
No,
it is. It clogs your pores and it doesn't
petroleum.
allow your hair to grow if you're that guy that wants your hair to grow.
My granddaddy used Blue Magic. My daddy used Blue Magic. Damn it, I'm gonna use. Actually, my granddaddy used My Night hair pomade. But go for it. Sorry.
That's funny.
But I feel like that the support of men will definitely help with the confidence level of women with their natural hair, because I think that women, for the most part, number one, what I've heard was they feel less feminine with their natural hair, especially going from the big chop. As a transitioning into that, and then also how men will look at them because of what's perceived on the media, how it's got to be body wave or Indian straight. So and honestly, I've gotten a lot more attention since my hair has been natural. Men kind of like it.
I think it's a trend. Well,
It is.
But
You can say it.
But I don't want to like make it fabricated. I think that people really are starting to appreciate it because we're starting to have more representation of it. For example, Grace Jones back in the day. Well, that's because it was her whole androgynous look. It was kind of like it was different. But I think even with short hair now, like women with low haircuts are like, it's gorgeous to me. Like I love it. And so I mean with Jada Pinkett, I mean listen, I think once we start being exposed to more ideas, we start to embrace it a little bit more. We're starting to kind of shed off of those stigmas. The reason why I said I didn't think I was a part of the natural hair community is because I feel like I'm not contributing to it.
How do you contribute to it?
I mean, helping. Well, I guess a byproduct of I'm helping push the culture forward by being a Black man and doing different things with my hair. But I feel like I'm not contributing to conversation. Well, besides this one, I'm not actually doing anything on YouTube. I'm not saying, hey guys, this product really works for me. You should try this as well.
But that's a big part of views. Those are the people, and they're women, and they're not contributing. They're just taking on. But you are contributing by walking out in public and showing that this is how my hair naturally grows. This is how I want it to be, and I'm going to stand in my naturalness. You are definitely contributing by letting that girl know, like, I like your hair. And just, you don't have to go out and buy all the products and show how you twist your hair up. Like, no, being present and showing who you are naturally, and this is who you naturally are, right? So just doing that, you're helping the community out.
I think for me, I get a little sense of the word community because of culture vultures, right? Like I mean, there's people who just take and take and take, and I did acknowledge that I take, but I take from more of like a non tangible way, right?
And going back to what you saying about being a trend, I will say that it is trendy to have natural hair now. But I always tell people, like, once you go natural, you don't want to go back. So it starts off maybe as a trend, but then it becomes a lifestyle.
I mean, but it's frustrating at times too, because it's a process.
Long process.
Yeah.
Long process.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I can see that, and you bring up interesting points about And I think that's where that elitism comes in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where, you know, there's this idea that, like, if you're not actively contributing or if you're not wearing it on your chest,
Right.
then you aren't really part of the community. You know what I mean? And again, I could associate it with the healthy eating community, which I'm new to. Right. And I've even, you know, had people come at me sideways about, like, but you eat honey. Like, you know, that comes from bees. It's not. I'm like, wow, really? Like, this, okay. That's
a conversation.
I never heard that.
Yeah,
but wow,
you know,
okay.
it really is. It really is. But that's neither here nor there, because that's a whole totally different thing. I'm just saying how, like, some people can be a little protective of certain things that's supposed to be just something that's helpful for you. I would imagine the natural hair thing is an individual thing, not to fit into some form of a club, but to be like, yo, this is a decision I made for myself, for my hair and my body, is what you're telling me. You know, is that's the thing I think, like, a lot of people who are not part of that community or guys who don't, you know, especially men, you know, like you joked about hair, Blue Magic.
Yeah.
And I realized I was disappointed because I love Blue Magic.
We grew up.
Yeah, I got a big giant tub of it.
And the pink moisture is, it was the pink. What's that pink bottle with the black?
Oh yeah,
Lusters.
That's pink moisture. Is that pink moisture?
I
Luster's
guess,
pink
you know,
moisture?
I
haven't used that in years.
I just buy whatever's blue or green and put it in my hair.
But knowing knowing
be
the
blue
products,
for all I know.
and it's almost like veganism, knowing those products that are in those you know, containers, you want to be very careful about what you are putting in your hair. Just like you knowing about what you're putting in your body, it's the same thing as putting in your hair. Even with, I tell women all the time that the main thing is this length thing. Women want long natural hair, and they think it's going to come fast. Number one, it is based on DNA. If your mama bald, you bald. Like, that's point blank period. So if her hair is not growing, you know, but you know, you have that 50% chance where if your dad has long, luscious locks, you might get that too. It's all in the DNA. Also, too, it's about what you are putting in your body. A lot of people don't know that what you eat comes out in your hair and your nails. So, you know, the things that you put in your body, that's why they do drug testing through hair plucking now. Well, some jobs do now. They don't even do, like, urinalysis and stuff like that and breathalyzers. They just go straight to your hair, because if you let your hair grow long, it dates you back like 10 years. If you let your hair grow 10 years long.
So explain that to people that have no idea what you're talking about right now, right? What do you mean that what you eat comes out in your hair? Like, and what foods can like destroy your hair? Or is it that simple?
It's just you have protein and keratin. Basically, is what makes up your hair. So you have things like carrots, almonds. You don't necessarily, and I've learned this through the vegan community, that you don't necessarily have to eat meat to get protein.
Not at all.
Sleep, Chris.
Yeah.
So you definitely can just go into your plant-based to put into your body.
Right.
Now, there are some people out here who are experiencing hair loss, and it's because their water intake is low. It's because they're consuming so much red meat that it's not putting the proper nutrients into what their hair needs. So you have to go out and buy those things. But when you go out and buy those things, it's not just that vitamin that you have in that bottle. It's everything else. It's the alcohol that dries your hair out. It's the sulfate. It's all of that stuff. So what you put in your body is natural. So why not let your hair grow naturally through within yourself instead of putting these vitamin hair growth liquids and stuff like that. I don't take those pills because you don't never know what's in them. It's just a combination of things that you're throwing into your body just to get this look that's not going to last. And when you die, your hair is going to grow. It grow like I don't know if people know, but when you die, your hair continues to grow. You know, and your hair probably will grow the longest and flourish. But you won't see it. Nobody else will.
That's
that's kind of that's
Hold on, so wait a minute. Next time I go to the movies and I get popcorn, I can just take my hair, put it on top of the popcorn, and I can get butter and salt.
Wait, what are you saying?
What?
I
start. Oh, say that. Try. Okay.
She said, like,
start.
What you eat
try that again.
what you eat comes out the top of your hair. I eat a lot of butter and salt. So I go to the movies next time. I don't even got to use the butter and salt stick machine. I just put my own hair on it.
Sleepy Chris, when you put things into your body, just like when you
come on.
Your body breaks things down. So it's not going to be strictly butter and salt coming out of your...
I was definitely going to try that next time.
I eat a lot of butter and salt.
I just cannot.
I'm not going to the movies with Chris.
Ever.
Your man
because
I
they look like this
immediately
weirdo. Yeah.
eat large amounts of butter and salt.
He just made me hot. Like,
Oh shit! Yeah, this is a great show. This is the perfect show for you to be on, bro.
gosh.
Okay, so I eat a lot of butter and salt. Okay, so you do bring up an interesting point, and I don't think we think about that with hair. I am experiencing hair loss, right? Yeah. But that had been happening because honestly, and Clarence stall me up. No, I am. I'm thinning, right? But it was my diet. Like real talk. Like that's something I did learn. Like my skin was bad. My you know the way I was sleeping. Also like my like you know I would like. Had sleep apnea and things like that, right?
Yeah,
just because
that's dangerous, Adam.
Yeah, no, but you know, and again, I'm not trying to be Mr. You know, go vegan and all that, right? But since I've changed my diet, it's been about 3.5 months. Sleep apnea is gone. Like you know, my breathing, I feel better, right? Now hair isn't growing back, but I do. But you know, I don't know. Could you help me grow my hair back? No, but seriously, no. But
Put some of Chris's butter and salt in that motherfucker. You be good.
Where's the butter? Give me a tub of popcorn. I rub it in my hair.
Hey,
I'm pretty sure butter and salt won't help anything. But what I'm getting at is that, you know, I have noticed body changes from eating less, actually cutting red meat and chicken, all that out of my diet completely, you know, and replacing it with other protein, like, you know, with almonds, things like that. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man, grow up. So, because he was waiting for me to say nuts. That's what he was waiting for. That's why I got almonds out there real quick because I saw his face. He was like, say nuts, say nuts. Anyway,
12.
Yeah, you are. No, but I will be honest. The one thing that I didn't, because you think about it with your teeth, with your eye, with everything, right?
Yeah.
The one thing I never considered it for is with hair. Now again, I don't imagine I'm going to sprout a bunch of hair out of my head, but it will maintain or keep, you know, whatever hair.
What you have left.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like I tell people all the time. Like it's based on your genetics.
Right.
That's the strong point.
Yeah.
So you know, like I said, if your family is known to start balding at a certain age, or to have gray hair at a certain age, or you know anything like that, it starts at genetics. But there's things that you can do to maintain the wellness of your scalp and maintain the wellness of your cuticles and everything like that. It's all body function. It's all a body function.
But to push back on that just a little bit, right? People do argue that even though your family may have a trait of like, you know, high blood pressure, you know, stuff like that, right? But by lifestyle changes, you can start to change that personal narrative.
Definitely.
Right? So would that also go the same for like hair? So even though it's because of your DNA or because of your genes, can people, if they start to, you know, with the babies doing better with their diets and X, Y, and Z, and then pushing on and on and on, that you can now start to change that about your hair if it's important.
I feel like that it's possible. I'm not a scientist.
Yeah.
I'm not a hairstylist. Just to go on record,
yeah.
I'm not a hairstylist. I'm not a licensed, you know, cosmetologist, anything like that. But I do feel like that it would have to start at childhood, and that is a big responsibility of the parents. Right. And then I'm a mom of 3 boys. So it's times where I don't feel like making just veggies. Let's go to McDonald's. Like, you know, satisfy you right then and there. But then you do have those parents who from out the womb, even in utero, they were vegans. So their children have I'm sorry?
You said utero?
Utero. When the baby's inside the mommy in utero.
My bad, yo. I was... My bad. I'm sorry.
You know that butter and salt. Boy.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, so when you give your child a head start, then you probably will lessen the chances of them being predisposed to hair loss and high blood pressure. Because I know my family has a history of high blood pressure. Yeah. I think that I'm the only one that doesn't, and that's because I decide to make healthier choices in my life. I decide to exercise, and I haven't eaten red meat in I think about 4 years. Yeah. So you know, because I see my family withering, and I'm like, I don't want to be a part of that. Yeah. And you know, some people are stuck in their ways, so you can't really force someone to change their lifestyle that they basically grew up on. But I know for me and for my children, I will start that off for them. So
yeah, I see this is where it goes into a bigger conversation of like entrepreneurship and actually, you know, the people who are the champions for vegan and champions for natural hair to actually start. Okay, you have a lot of people Black and brown people in poor communities that
food
don't have
deserts.
the access, right, to, like you said, food deserts?
Yes.
Yeah, don't have the access to
My area.
quality, right, don't have the access to quality, places where you can get fresh fruit and vegetables in vegan spots. So those spaces, while for a business owner may not seem like it's going to be lucrative, but providing those options for individuals so that they can start to change that narrative about themselves. I mean, black folk, we high blood pressure, heart disease. There's like a core 5 that are with black folk. You know what I mean? Hypertension, all that. And I think that this will allow that conversation, which I do think that people who are in those communities can start having those conversations about healthier choices, right? Because it's all connected.
And you bring up a good point about, and just to transition a little bit, and again, Lavondra Shinholster is in the building. Typical Black Queen on Twitter and all social media. Check out on YouTube. She's dope. Just to kind of connect this to the partnership space in the the more the entrepreneurial space, right? Right. Because we talk about trends, right? And we throw that word around, and I'll combat that a little bit because some things are a trend, and I can't really speak to the natural hair thing because obviously that's not something I pay heavy attention to.
Right.
However, I do think that the reason why natural hair and other like things that are directly associated with African Americans, Africans, Black folks, whatever you want to say, is because there's a bit of enlightenment going on within our community, right?
Yes.
Well, again, this movie is a big, Black Panther is like the ultimate example of that, of people that are like we're just really into black shit right now.
Yeah.
And I think natural hair is just a part of that. When it comes to making money off of that and becoming an entrepreneur, that sounds like Medea, just entrepreneur, entrepreneur
Almost had it.
off of that. It's too much butter and salt, man. I'm telling you.
I got that crisp. Pause. Hey, go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
But when it comes to being a business owner and an entrepreneur off of that, do you find that some people are weary of, oh man, you're just trying to sell me something that's hot right now? Oh man, you're just trying to jump,
the thing about that is blatant. It's blatant because what it is these products that these some we call them influencers because they influence the the natural hair community.
Yep.
So what they will do is they will get paid a nice little lump sum.
Yeah.
And just to talk good.
Yeah.
And I created my YouTube off of I was going out and buying these products with my own penny. So you're not paying me to speak on anything that you're doing or anything that you're giving me. So I would speak directly on it and how it worked for my hair. Now I have hair twins, which people call hair twins, but no one's hair is exactly alike, just like no one has the same DNA makeup. So when you have these influencers going out and speaking so highly of these products, and these products are damaging, women's hair, it's kind of like, are you for us or against us, or you just ready to make a coin? And a lot of people are just ready to make a coin.
Right.
Yeah.
But I will say that for the people who go into the natural hair influencer realm, if they're just going in for the monetary aspect of it, they don't succeed. If you go into it with, just knowing that you wanted to make a difference, those are the ones, because you can just see in the videos, you can see it in their face, and you just can tell, like, okay, she's real.
Yeah.
I like watching her. I'm going to subscribe to her channel.
Yeah,
Definitely.
definitely.
You can definitely tell.
Yeah, definitely. And again, I'm always weary because I've seen a couple of things, and again, not just in the hair space, but in the African American, especially dealing with black women, right? And where we know what's going on, we know that there's enlightenment going on in our community, we know that there's the Black Girl Magic movement, which is all wonderful and beautiful, but you find people that take advantage of that as well. Like one dude got, we're not gonna name him, but one dude got busted out on he was a YouTuber, like Facebook. He made them little quick like Facebook, Instagram videos, and he was talking about how like everything was about how like black men need to do this, black men do that. And one dude busted him all out because he basically was like, you're just making money off of black women's pain at this point. They want to hear it, they want to hear this, so you're just gonna keep doing it just to feed them that thing. I got you, brother. Just to feed them that thing that they want. So they, and Chris, I'll come right to you since you're jumping into this. Like,
Hey, Chris.
Yeah, but just to finish that point up, that there's this. You have to be wary about people that are in the space that want to just do it for $1. So I do have a question for you next, but I want Chris to go and say his piece.
I wanted to see. Have you ever done? Has anyone asked for you to do a transformation video with them, take them in, start off
makeover
from their natural hair to what they are now?
No one has ever asked me, but that's a good idea. That's something that I would want to do, personally. Like my mom she went back natural because back in her day, back in the 70s and stuff, that's all the women did was they wore their afros.
Right.
And she would always tell me, like, the same way you're doing your hair is the exact same way we were doing it back in the day. You just have little kinks and twists and turns here. But she started her natural journey again, so she chopped all her hair off, and that's definitely thank you, Chris.
Good question, Chris.
Yeah. So I would do it. I haven't had it brought to me, but I would do that.
So real fast,
There was someone who you knew who would be interested in that, who just happened to be named Chris.
Wait a minute.
You
What?
know, I'm just saying, I'm going to start over.
You want to start your natural hair journey?
Yo, Chris's hair never really grows. It just stays. It just stays one length.
It does. It does.
His
Yeah.
widow's peak has been that length.
Yeah, it
for
has.
like the
It's
past
like a nice
4 years.
toupee. Yeah, it's like
It's been like that since college.
it's like a sausage patty.
It's the butter and salt.
It's the
Yeah.
butter and salt.
Yeah. Looks like a big griddle. Lavondra, let me ask you a question. So
This nigga, oh my God.
so
Y'all the worst.
I was
God, Grimace.
Oh.
so
Oh Lord.
I was alluding to the distrust
write
and people that are weary of working because I noticed that partnership is a big thing in the YouTube space and on the online space, and I've noticed that you partner with people, you've done things, and you've had like callings for like, yo, anybody want to work, let's get together. So how do you weed out that? Because I think that is, when we talk about like a space in YouTube for black folks, is something I really want to talk about. Like I really want to get into that, like a space for black folks in YouTube. And I think partnership is almost a requirement, but how do you weed out like the people like you just talked about, like, oh, you just in here just to make some bread right quick, or you're serious about this and we can really have like an authentic audience and a movement? How do you weed those people out?
Well, you have your different categories of YouTubers. You have people who are on YouTube for simply just to step out of their comfort zone. They're not used to being in front of the camera. They're very shy. They're very introverted, and they want to step out of that shell. So that page is really just for them. They're not really trying to sell to anyone. They're not trying to gain any views, and it's just, you have that sprinkle of people who would just blow up.
Right.
Like somebody sees it and like, oh, and shares it, and then it ends up, then that boom, you got 1 million followers, and now you're getting paid. And then you have the people who go into YouTube strictly for the money, and then you have the people who, like me, who just go into it just because someone said, hey, do this, and you try it, and it ended up, I like it. I love it, actually. You can weed it out. You definitely can weed out the people who are just there, the money-hungry people,
Right.
because they don't do well.
Right.
And they don't engage with their subscribers or their following at all. They're very, like, something about the natural hair community, like those uppity natural haired girls, they're so rude and nasty. Somebody will ask a question in their DMs, which I get this a lot, that you're the first person to ever answer me back. And I'm like, wow, how are you for the community or an influencer when you have these women who need, questions answered, and you're not answering them back? Now, I get it. You have those multitude of people who you've probably answered that question in the video. But let's be real. If you're putting out a 15-minute video, I'm not watching that. Like, I have a thing where if your video says over 10 minutes, I'm not going to watch it. I'm not. It's no shade to anybody that does over 10-minute videos. It's just that I don't have time to sit there and watch a video. It's not a TV show. It's an informative video, and I want to get to the stuff that I need to know about. So that's why I try to keep my video 8 minutes or less, and that's just my preference.
And that's a general YouTube rule, and I'm glad we're kind of getting into this, because I think, like, part of the YouTube success that I've seen, and from people that talk about it, the bigger YouTubers that and we'll stick to the black folks, like the Issa Rays of the world, and people like that really blew up on YouTube, was that they kept their videos a certain length. That's like actually like documented. Like, people don't like to watch things long. We've actually talked about that. Yeah, we've actually talked about that with our stuff. You know what I'm saying? And being authentic, and people feeling like, because I think you mentioned a very important point, that social media changes things up. Social media makes you feel close to the entertainer or to even the celebrity, right? LeBron James has a different level of celebrity than Michael Jordan did, because Michael Jordan, you never felt close to Michael Jordan or Michael Jackson, right? So when they show up, you feel like it's almost like a god was showing up, like, oh my God. But LeBron is like you watching LeBron in the gym throwing the weights around. You feel like you know
Rapping
LeBron
to the
James.
music that we love.
Right. You feel like you know LeBron James. And I think it's the same thing with the YouTubers. So like if you aren't authentic with it, you know what I mean? Like if people don't feel like this is my friend I'm watching, someone that is my girlfriend, like I can watch her and get this from her, then I won't take to her video. Go ahead, Clarence.
But if I could, I think, we have to keep it in context. So you acknowledge that some of these people who make these videos are maybe not the most personable people, they're a little more introverted. I think sometimes people don't know how to just have a dialogue. So that person that we may perceive them as being arrogant or uppity, but in reality, they just don't know how to respond. They don't, or they may be frustrated because like, I just answered this question 4 times before this person hit me. Right. And it's kind of like, cool. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I think, kind of to strip away that stigma that to a degree that there is these uppity or these, aerial height people that are in these vegan or natural movements, you know what I mean, that they're not just these like egotistical like people. It's just sometimes like they may have anxiety about actually engaging with people. Whereas though within the video, all you gotta do is just you and the camera. Right. You do your thing. You talk your shit because you're basically talking to yourself. Right. And then, so I wonder if that's also a piece of it, is that people sometimes don't know how to engage.
But I feel like that you have a choice. If you're not that type of person, then why continue down that field and to have so many people follow you and depend on you? Because these women literally, like you said, they think that they're your friend. And most of them, I call them, I had to stop saying friend, because some people, they honestly think that, yes, we are friends. And they would inbox me all day, every day, and and I get to that aspect, but I was ready for that because I'm already a people person. Like Adam, you've known me since I was, young, old man. So you know that even though I've had terrible ways of showing it, I've always been a people person. So I'm cool with answering questions. I get inboxes, emails all the time, and I'm like, you know what? If someone asks a question, the cool thing about YouTube is you can pinpoint a time where you answer the question and you can send it to that person and say, here, I answered it right here. That's all you have to do and have a good day. You actually have people who will, Instagram will tell you that the message is read. They got read receipts on 24/7. And they will actually read the message and not reply.
This is why we need conglomerates, or why we need, these black businesses and to be able to put multiple personalities and people together. So you are someone that is able to be less rigid and do that, but there's some people who don't know how to do that at all, but they're really great with like content.
Right, and that's why I bring up that partnerships piece, because I think this is important, and for me, I think that media is the most important tool that black folks have, right? And YouTube is the future or the present of media, and it will continue to be the future of media. And what happens is you got a bunch of, because I understand exactly what you're saying, from doing this work, you have people that inbox you. When I had my group, people would inbox me every single day with questions I literally did not have the answer to. Like, when we had the relationship group and people were like, yo, I'm like, literally would get, me and my wife or me and my girlfriend are going through this. What should we do? And I'd be like, yo, I have no idea what to tell you on that one. And then people get upset when I posted the picture, the before and after picture. I promise you, 10 people in my inbox like that. Tell me what you did. I'm like, yo, I really don't know what I did.
But that's a difference, Adam. That's that's different than you replying back. I honestly don't know what I did. That's an honest answer. I'm talking about those people
that don't respond,
who have these thousands of followers, thousands of subscribers, and I get it. You get a buttload of DMs, right? But you signed up for this. You knew this was going to come. So for you to read a DM, and it's probably a girl or a woman who is headed up to here with her hair, and she's losing it all, and that's just the last straw. Like, and you are her lifeline. Right,
and that's what I'm getting at. That, to his point and to your point, because I'm agreeing with you 100%, and I'm only saying that because, like, we're veterans in this space, right? Like 10-year veterans, so like you understand that like you have to respond to people, right? Exactly. But when you get people that are amateur, because what YouTube does is allow people to be amateurs and just they can do one great video or 2 great videos, and it will literally pop off. Take that string out your mouth. It will literally pop off, right? And I'm sorry, man. It will literally pop off and literally take off for them, and all of a sudden now they are a star.
Right.
And they didn't do the things that you would normally do, which is like build a staff, have a publicist, have somebody that may even answer those questions for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you can't answer those questions. So I think, to Clarence's points, that's why I think that the collaboration piece and the he calls it the conglomerate or collaboration, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Getting together with other people,
Just teaming.
Teaming up with other people makes it easier for because you could teach that person how to do something that and she could teach you how to do something. I just think that's important for Black creators to have that.
It is important, but that also would answer your question to how do you separate or how do you see? Because for me, it came naturally. I don't have a team. I answer everything on my own. I go through everything on my own. I don't have a manager. I don't have a publicist. When I do get these sponsored ads to work with these companies, I either go to them or they come to me. There is no
Oh my God, bro.
there is no middleman. And I think that's what's working well for me. My number one thing that I have working well for me is the fact that I am very relatable. I hide nothing. I am who I am on screen and off screen and in the DMs.
Yeah.
So, people, I've noticed this trend going around, this sis. Everyone's calling me sis. And I'm like, okay, that's like I get it's a term of endearment, but it's actually something very personable. If someone calls you sis, then they actually really like you.
Yeah.
And I'm getting that in my DMs a lot. Like, hey sis, can you help me out? Or hey sis, what did you do for your hair like this?
You think it's that they really like you, they find a connection? Because I say bro often, right? And I think that's just because there is a level of connection that you and I have, in my opinion, culturally, and just intrinsically. So me calling you sis, now some people say it because they're trying to seem like there's something else to try to get it in, right? But if I call you sis, it's because the energy of natural hair or just being comfortable in your skin is like, okay, I feel that there's a connection there.
And it's also just where we are now with again, we're trying to connect as Black people. We're trying to,
Because Chris is my sis.
Yes, he is.
Chris is a sis.
Damn, you like her. Florida Evans.
Chris.
Florida Evans. No disrespect to Florida Evans, actually. Sorry about that. There's that connecting piece that we're in right now, and this is a good way to begin to wrap this up too, because I think we're in that space where we want to connect, and all of these things are important, and people are just proud to see a beautiful Black woman.
Thank you.
Well, you know what I'm saying. I just want to, you get that from me every now and then. But when you to see someone like yourself doing it, and they know you came up and how you built yourself up, so it's like sis, like bro, you know what I mean? Like it's the moment that we're in. Cousin, hey, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's the moment that we're in. So I think it's dope, man. And I think also what we can get from this is that it is hard work. I think that with YouTubers and content creators, it looks easy because you're good at it, right? People listen to podcasts and they go, I could do that. Trust me, I know. And then they do it for 2 weeks and man, I can't do it. They want to do a natural hair vlog that's not just for them, for some fun, just to do, for themselves, but they trying to do something with it.
Right.
And it fails and they're like, I can't do it. And the reason why they looked at you and thought it was easy is because you're doing it right and you're doing it well.
They don't see the behind the scenes thing.
Doing it and doing it and doing it well.
Just like a little shameless plug thing. But just as in content creating, I created a group on Instagram called the Content Creator Coalition.
Talk about that.
And that is it's starting to branch out because a lot of men have been asking me to join in, but it's a female entrepreneur group for makeup artists, creatives who don't know how to take content pictures to build the aesthetic of their page. A lot of people don't know that the look of your YouTube page or the look of your content on your YouTube or your Instagram is what gets you those collaborators coming at you. And if it looks a certain way, they're going to come at you first before that person who's taking, cell phone pics on their Android phone, which, I'm an iPhone now, so I can say that. So what Content Creator Coalition does is we get together once a month. It's broadening over to twice a month because it's growing now. And we meet up at a spot and we take pictures of each other, things that we need for our our page to build our aesthetic of our page to push each other towards that part. So
dope.
That's what I wanted
and
to get
it's
into.
called
Yeah,
the CCC
yeah.
Meetup DC on Instagram. So definitely check that out.
And again, that's a collaborative thing. Go ahead, Chris.
Now I was gonna ask, do you do any meetups? No, a lot of people like to meet people, their stars, the person that they follow advice from. Have you ever done like a meetup with like people from this area saying like, hey, I'm gonna be in this area
All
like,
the
let's say
time.
Harrison.
People inbox me all the time and let me know
Chris
they're going to
will
be
be
in the
there.
area. And I was actually just talking about this on my stories yesterday, that it's imperative as women of color that we start branching out outside of our small group of friends, because it starts to expand our mind and it starts to change the conversation. Because it's not saying that your friends that you have are like terrible friends, they won't influence you better, but it's also great to have a group of friends or a group of people that you don't know to just step out that box, step out that comfort zone and talk about things that you don't know about. I went on a lunch date with a young lady, her name is Tia, her Instagram is 410 blog, she's a blogger in DC, and we've never met before. We've only talked a couple of times on Instagram, and we just met up for lunch date. It's
beautiful, man.
You know, out Baltimore, and it was a great time. We spent 3 hours just vibing, and this is not just for like collaboration or I want you on my side. This is not. This is just to expand your mind, expand your thought process, and think outside of your group of friends. So
And potentially something could come out of that, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Doors opening.
Networking, man.
Well,
That's what
any of the people that you're giving advice to are single, and
God.
Chris,
like just say.
I plead the fifth, so we're just going to not talk about that.
That was a proper answer, I believe. You know,
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, Lavondra, we're seriously proud of you. It's been a minute. We've been trying to get you on the show for a minute.
know,
we've been,
right?
Yeah, we've been, we've been
I'm
trying
a mom,
to connect.
so it's
Yeah.
really hard out here, especially. Well, I call myself a mompreneur, not just an entrepreneur. I'm a mom, so I also do work during the day.
Yeah.
I'm a mom of 3 boys. I'm a family woman, and then on top of that, I'm a entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So it's a lot. So yeah, you gotta catch me.
And it's inspirational.
Yeah.
It's inspirational. I mean, whenever I hear about that, because I'm a childless single man out here trying to make it happen.
here
So
winning.
I got time on my hands to do all that, and it's
Shameless
still
plug.
shameless plug.
Right.
I know that was a Sleepy Chris type moment right there. For any lady out there that wants to, have physical contact with me,
Salt and butter on my hairline.
I've got plenty of butter and salt and roofies.
on my eyelashes.
Don't be taking away from my movie dates. Yeah?
You didn't hear the part where I said roofies? Yeah, you followed up real quick. Hey, don't tell the people what I do. No, but we're seriously proud of you, Lavondra.
Thank
and
you.
again, whenever I hear about people that do, because I was saying that earlier, just to say like, even with having a bunch of time on my hands, it's difficult. So in order for you to do it,
Yeah.
man, hats off to you,
Yeah,
man.
for real.
Really, seriously,
Yeah,
man. Keep
thank
doing your
you.
thing. For the people that didn't catch it before, social media, website, wherever, how can they find you?
You can find me Typical Black Queen, and that's TYPACALBLAQUEEN, and that's on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook, all that.
Consistency.
Yeah,
Yes.
she spelled that whole John out there. Spell it one more time. I just want to hear you do it.
Now I can't do it.
You know what I'm saying? TAYPEBB.
I mean, when you have a name as long as my name, you
Yeah,
learn
yeah.
how to spell things pretty quickly.
I feel you. Yeah. Yo, it's been an honor to have you all, man. Thank you so much, Lavondra.
Thank
We're gonna
you
have
so
you
much
back,
for
man.
having me on. Like, this was a great experience.
You know what? We should do some type of event together. We should do something.
You know I do events. You know I have an event coming up in May.
Yeah, let's do something. Let's collab. Yeah, we
Yeah.
collab. You know what I'm saying? We building on there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We gonna have plenty of butter and salt in the
Salt.
building. You know what
Lord
I'm
have
saying?
mercy.
Yeah, no, but seriously, we should figure something out, man. The
Salt.
people let us know, man. What type of event? Like, 'cause I think it's something that we can do that can educate people on what you talk about, and we can make that happen for our audience. So we're gonna figure that out.
Okay.
All right,
I'm
girl.
down. I'm down. You down, Sleepy Chris?
I will definitely be there and be down.
Yeah.
Down for the cause.
Down for the Kizzos, baby. This was a very interesting show. This is one of the more interesting ones we've done in a long time. And but thank you so much for coming through. Really appreciate you, man.
Thank you for inviting me.
No problem at all. All right, y'all. So next time we talk, we're gonna have updates and we're gonna take pictures. We're gonna do video, all sorts of stuff of me and Chris's vegan.
Do you want to join us at this vegan spot?
I sure will. will.
You will enjoy
Yeah.
this.
I will. I think my friends and my following would enjoy seeing you enjoy your vegan meal.
You sure about that?
I
Yeah.
have a lot of vegan followers, and they would probably rejoice at the fact that someone who just devoured a whole McDonald's meal
I'm about
before
to
he
say,
came here.
have you ever
Chris
seen
is
a-
eating
so distraught he
vegan.
can't eat
Have you ever
meat.
seen a video of an otter eating a raspberry pie?
No.
That's probably what Chris looks like eating anything, like some form of sea monster smashing
It's poetic.
Yeah, I guess there's beauty in there somewhere. Yeah. Anyway. All right, yeah, we're gonna get ready to roll. We will give you an update of what's going on with our health challenge. Also, we got updates on the app coming soon. We got that. That's literally true. That's literally true.
Wait, there's
There's
an app.
Yeah,
What's
there's an app.
that?
We do have an app.
Really?
Yeah, we do have an app. We do. You actually can find it.
You could.
You can find it. Yeah, it's on. Yeah.
Let's.
But we on it. Yeah. We're not going to do that yet.
So y'all
I like
part
the
of the
teaser.
crew that,
hit y'all
you
over
got
the
you got
head.
an app for that.
Yeah.
Y'all
we
part
are.
of that crew.
Yeah, we are. You got to
Okay.
wait for it though. Wait for it.
We for the culture.
Yeah. And again, for the people in the DC area, we're gonna have a Black Panther discussion forum coming this Saturday at the studio, man. We will have information on that on Monday. I promise you that we'll have time and location on Monday for that one, man. And again, send us your questions, anything Black Panther related, plot related, whatever. Send us your questions, anything you want to hear us
Wear
talk
your
about.
costumes if you got them.
Wear your costumes. Come through with your Aaron. Come through with your costumes. We got something for you.
So that means we can talk all Michael B. Jordan, right? We can.
Yes.
And how amazing he looks and is.
Well, you can.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know.
Chris.
Don't bash the women out of this. We want
No.
to talk about
That's
everything.
hey, look. Definitely. That's what
Everything.
Come through, you know what I mean? Talk about M'Baku, talk about Killmonger, talk about T'Challa, whatever. The ladies seem to really like M'Baku, like they really like
Yeah.
the man ape has a lot of fans. Yeah, and I'm glad they chose to not call him Man Ape in the movie too, by the way,
Yeah.
because that's his name in the book, the Man Ape, and he looks like a giant ape. But so they switched it up, you know what I mean?
That's
Shouts to my man. Anyway, we're gonna get ready to roll up out of here. Again, follow Lavondra on all social media. Follow us on all social media, man. And until next week, ladies and gentlemen, be great. Say it for me.
Elevate us.
We up out of here.